100 FM, The Pike, Worcester's classic hits. Bruce Palmer and a very special guest joining us this morning. Now, you know, we've been talking for weeks and weeks about the show. It's coming in this Saturday to Indian Ranch, Hairfest. And there's no better place to go than to the headliner group, Super Troop. This morning, we'd like to welcome in Derek Pontier. Good morning, Derek.
Good morning, Bruce. How are you?
Oh, I am anxious and ready for Hairfest this Saturday.
This is going to be fun. We've put a lot of time and work into it and everything, and so I'm ready.
Derek comes in with a group with a lot of credentials. Now, you yourself, Derek, you spent a lot of time with the group Great White.
Yeah, I was with the original core back in 2001, and then went back out with them in late 2003, and then took another break, and then back out in 2011 with the Jack Russell Great White thing I put together. Mm-hmm. Until like 2013, and then have another break, and then just put myself on call if he needs me. It's all good.
So, in other words, you're always in motion. Obviously, anything from the Great White Library that ever gets worked into Super Troop's collection of tunes.
Oh yeah, we'll throw one in there. We like to do songs from our perspective, bands that we toured with. Well, long enough, Chaz West was with Jason Bonham Band, and Lynn Schmab. You know, Jason Cornwell from Eric Martin Band, Eric Martin from Mr. Big. And Scott was from Band Tango, Scott LaFlamme.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Chaz West. I mean, Chaz, he's going to be the focal point. Chaz is the lead singer for the group Super Troop at Hairfest this weekend. And as you say, he's got a lot of recognition from the years he spent doing lead vocals with Foreigner. That was about a dozen years ago, wasn't it?
I believe so.
As far as the repertoire, then, that Super Troop puts together, I mean, you could name so many great hair bands of the 80s that make up the Super Troop playlist. I'm sure we're going to hear stuff from Foreigner. We might hear a little bit from Great White. What other groups manage to have their hair put forward when Super Troop's on stage?
You're going to hear some Mr. Big. You know, I heard a couple from them, and then some Bang Tango. Yep. And then we do a bunch of other tunes that have fun with. We like to get to have fun on stage.
We're talking this morning with Derek Pontier, the drummer for the group Super Troop, one of the the headlining band for this weekend's Hairfest at Indian Ranch on Saturday. And now, Derek, you guys are going to be working with quite a number of hair band tributes. I mean, everybody from the group Everybody Wants Some, that features the music of Van Halen, to The Priest, which performs the music of Judas Priest. There's Aquanet, even Bon Jersey with the music of Bon Jovi. Have you had a chance to work with any of these other groups or any of the members of these other groups?
You know, I've never met them. I just saw them. I dig them all. I kind of researched them on YouTube and said I was checking everything out. I've never met them, but the other, I think Scott and JC, they know some of the members. They all sounded great. I watched them. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm going to guess there's an automatic kinship when you're a part of a hairband tribute, and even if you guys haven't had the chance to specifically and physically work together, I'll bet you all think along the same lines, and you could probably jump together on stage and start playing together like you've known each other for decades. Am I right?
Oh, yes. Done that a few times. It's always fun. You bring people up and start just jamming, and that's what it's about, doing stuff off the cuff. You know, you got to be a serious player when it comes down to just being spontaneous and just throwing down and jamming. That's what's always fun.
When you get up there on stage, is it true, what I've always believed, that the success of the group, say Super Troop, and the intensity of the show are directly affected by the intensity of feedback you're getting from the crowd?
Definitely, yes. You got to get the energy from the crowd. You want that. You're giving it to them, and you want it back from them as well. I like to see them enjoying it, singing along, and just having a good time.
I know that you yourself originally from the West Coast, but I do believe there are some relatively more local members of the group. I mean, Scott LaFlamme's from the Northeast, correct?
Yeah, he's from East Longmeadow, Springfield area.
Right.
And Jason Cole's out there near Boston. He's in Plymouth.
On the South Shore? All right.
Yep.
I'm assuming that you've never been to Indian Ranch. Is that a fair assumption on my part?
I was there September of last year. My friend Don is the one who actually introduced me to Kim.
All right.
You know, Kim and Frank Pupolo, who's also been working on the gig.
Right.
And we were out there for Brett Michaels' show. It was September of last year.
Oh, yeah, okay. Brett was just there recently, as a matter of fact. Well, you know what? Then obviously you know from personal experience what a great venue it is and what a great place it's going to be.
Oh, it's beautiful.
For Hairfest. Yeah. Now, normally for an event like Hairfest, I would say we're going to get together and raise the roof. But let's be honest, there really is no roof to raise there.
Above the stage a little bit.
Well, maybe just a little bit. But I'll tell you what, we'll blow it into the middle of Webster Lake, because this is going to be the show to see. And if you you grew up loving hair bands in the 80s, well, then there is going to be no better highlight to your summer than to see Super Troop headlining this show at Indian Ranch. And again, the show is this Saturday now. Last I checked, there are still tickets available. But I'm going to tell you something, Derek. Those tickets have been selling and selling fast. We're anxious to see you guys. And I guess the best I can say is to find yourself safe travel and come on up here and jam with us this weekend, all right?
Sounds great. Sounds great. Thank you. Great.